lost in the woods. No beautiful snow guides me down to the frozen river where I see her beauty herself, Aphrodite.
Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we are doing a tarot reading. Not quite sure what we're doing tarot reading on, but the title should know. I am a tarot reader. I have my readings open in the description if you would like to book a reading with me. But yeah, let's get started with our cards here. I'm just shuffling the tarot deck. This is quite a large tarot deck. We have the Ace of Wands right here, the Ace of Wands. So there may be a direction. Oh, interesting. There may be a direction that you are wanting to go in and that you are getting the go-ahead to go in that direction. Remember to take what resonates, leave what does not. Let's get started. I do have to shuffle this a little differently than I usually do because the deck is huge. But let's get started. What is this collective need to hear? I also have some oracle cards ready for when we need them, and a pendulum, but I doubt I'll use the pendulum. What do we need to hear here? What do the collective need to hear that is watching this video? There's a... Okay, hold on. This deck likes to throw itself. I think there's maybe a lot going on in your head right now, because when that happens, I kind of take it as a overwhelming energy kind of vibe. I want only my spirit guides or their spirit guides to come through, but let me rephrase that. I want my spirit guides to come through with a message that the collective can hear and no one else. Thank you. Okay. We have a couple cards here. We have the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands. That was at the bottom of the deck. I shuffled pretty good. The Five of Wands. And we have the King of Swords. Now, also the deck I am using is the 𝑚🂏🀘 Tarot. This is the back of it. 𝑚🂏🀘 Tarot. Also, if you hear a cat meowing, that's my new kitten. Say hello, Winnie. She's 3 months old, but she's in my room right now. The King of Swords, the Five of Wands, and the Ace of Wands. I think there's a conflict, not in like a way that like you're fighting with someone. While that could be the case, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I think there's a conflict with something you want. I think you are wanting something, and you are like looking at it from like a logical perspective. In your opinion of all. Okay, that makes it sound like it's not logical. In your own logical perspective, that doesn't mean that someone else thinks it's logical. But in a logical perspective that you think is logical, that sounds like an attack. I don't mean that like that. Anyways, Five of Wands and Ace of Wands. I think there is something that you are having trouble feeling like is something that is the right decision. Now, I do want to preface this by saying, if there is something that like seems like it's a wrong thing to do or anything like that, I wouldn't do it. Like if it doesn't align with you, don't do it. I think this is more of like asking you to something that you feel like isn't practical or isn't realistic. Like maybe it's a goal that you have in the future. Like maybe you want to have a big house in some way. I don't know. I'm just making shit up or using my intuition. Same thing. Not the same thing. Sorry. Anyways, but I think there is something that you are wanting that you feel like is unrealistic or out of reach. But I don't think it's out of reach. I think this is something that absolutely can be within reach. Can I get a card for this collective, from my spirit guides to this collective? We have this card. We have introspection. I think you maybe have a lot of work that you do, like a lot of, you may be very busy. We have introspection, the weasel, and the pine. It's either you're super busy or you are like completely doing nothing. It's one or the other. I don't think there's an in-between. I mean, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But it's like you're either really busy or like have nothing to do and you're bored as hell. But introspection. I think there's a need either to, for one group of you guys, it's going to be you need to introspect. Okay, we're just going to go with one of the groups and you take how it resonates, leave what doesn't. I think there is a lot of busyness for a lot of you and a need to think about this in a different light. Like, I think you've been thinking about this in a logical light. Logical. Not saying you're not logical, but I'm just saying, like, sometimes what seems like the safest route or what seems like the most realistic isn't always the best. Like, for instance, someone may want to be a singer, but be like me, and be like, oh, but it's unrealistic. You should still try. Like, that is something where it is hard to become a big singer, but you don't have to if you really want to have this promotion in your career, have this certain career, have this certain job, this certain person, you absolutely can. It takes a lot of hard work and dedication, but the thing about that as well is, I feel like I shouldn't say this, but even with some people will put in so much hard work and it still doesn't happen. So I think a big part of it is luck sometimes. That is a reality of things, and it is manifestation a lot of the time. So it doesn't happen for everyone, but that doesn't mean it can't happen. I don't like saying that it's going to happen for you no matter what, because I don't know that. I could look into your future. I do see, though, that this is possible. Okay, I just said that. I went on a rant there. I do see that this is possible for you because the Ace of Wands is telling you that it is. The Ace of Wands is telling you to go after it. They wouldn't be telling you to go after it if it wasn't for a reason. There's a lesson to be learned, not a lesson that's like, oh, you can't get it, oh well. A lesson of you can get what you want, not like all the time, but you can get what you desire, you can get what you dream of. It is possible and it is achievable. Is there anything else from this deck that can give us some little message for the collective? We have Deceit, the Coyote, and 𝑑𝑎𝑡𝑎. Here, the Coyote. Did I show this one? This was the Weasel and the Pine. This is the Coyote and 𝑑𝑎𝑡𝑎. Deceit. Interesting. I don't really get the Deceit energy. Let me look at the bottom of the deck. The Moon. I think you are in your head a lot, and I feel like you're busy though. So it's like this is a really random thing. You may be a system, like a DID or OSDD system, and there's some conflict inside. I am an OSDD system, so I'm just like, okay. Anyways, you may be a system. Deceit. I don't think someone's lying to you. I don't think that's what this is saying. I think this is saying that you have a fear. You may have a fear that someone is going to lie to you, or that, okay, I might be picking up, okay, we're going to get one more tarot card. What is going on with the deceit here? Can I get more? Oh, are we picking up on another energy that is in this reading? Sorry about the kitten. She's like a dog a little bit. But I'm gonna get this one. The Ten of Pentacles. Okay. Okay, I'm channeling something really weird. Okay. There is a sense of lying to get to the top. Like, there may be someone in your... Okay, this isn't to scare you, but this is a really random message that could be confirmation for someone. If there is someone in your circle that is, like, a liar... okay, if you do not know this person and you're like, oh, someone's a liar... If you don't know that they're a liar, this isn't a message for you. Just take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But if you know someone who's a liar in your group, something with them is going on. The Ten of Pentacles, though... I think safety and prosperity and abundance away from this person and free of this person is coming. This is another message coming in. There's a lot going on here. I'm channeling a couple things here. Let's get this deck, see what comes out. Actually, I'm gonna wait. I want to get more on this deceit, this person that's coming through in your life. Maybe I should just channel. A bow? A pink bow. I got like a pink bow in my head. I don't know what's going on. What a great thing to hear from your tarot reader. Let's get a little bit more on that. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Okay. I think maybe... Oh, is this person telling you that you shouldn't do it? Or that, like, you can't do it? This could be a mother figure or like a feminine figure. Like a motherly figure. Is someone in your life telling you can't, like, achieve this? Because the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles... Like, is someone in your life, I think, or like, maybe it's like even like yourself. Like, it could be someone in a system if you're part of a system. Like, right? It could be even you're like telling yourself like, I can't do this. This liar in your life could be you. I'm not saying you're a liar. I mean, you could be. But I don't know. But I am saying that maybe there's a lying to yourself. But also, if there's a liar that you've been picking up on and they've been saying that you can't do this, or people around you have been saying you can't do this, you can. Of course, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and stay safe. I don't want this message to be like, okay, go ahead, do something crazy, because that's not what I'm saying. Of course. Okay. I'll just do one shuffle and then one side one. Okay. Can we get a message? I kiss my decks. I'm so sorry. That's kind of weird to some people. I give them kisses for love. Put some love into them, you know? Can I get a message for this collective on what's going on? Okay. This came out sideways. We're going with this. Okay. We'll do both just because it came out sideways. That means we read both of the messages. We have frost of stillness. Embrace the frost of stillness, where in the calm of icy pause. Wait. We're in the calm of icy pause, reflective and okay. You may be stumbling over your words. I don't know why I'm doing that. Embrace the frost of stillness, where in the calm of icy pause, reflective clarity is found. Okay, that one's a little confusing to say. And then stop and reflect. Pause in your journey to appreciate how far you've come and where you're headed. Reflection. Something about reflection. Let's get a little bit more. Can I get a little more, Spirit? We have embrace solitude. Reflect deeply. There's a lot about reflection. Do you see that? There's two reflection cards. I'll show you that. This one is just like a snowflake. Embrace solitude. Reflect deeply for survival. Keep your mind open as answers reveal lessons in the quiet introspection. So these are both of the cards that you got. Boom, boom. This one is reversed. But yeah, there's a need to reflect. There is a need to reflect on how far you've come and how far you're going to go. I think there is a sense of like you're worried that you can't go to the lengths that you want to go to, or there's a worry that like something is going to get in the way, or someone keeps telling you, oh, you're not gonna get there, you're not gonna get there. But you can. That's just like the main message coming through is that you can do it, you can do it. I'm gonna try to stretch this reading out a little bit and try to ask for some more. Interesting way to put that. But yeah, let's ask just a little bit more. I just want someone inside, sorry, I'm like answering questions as I go. Someone inside just said, asked why to stretch the reading. The reason is, I think I see other people with longer tarot readings, and I'm like, I kind of like watching those. Like, I like when they're kind of longer, but I also like when they're shorter, so I'm going to try a longer one today. If it's, like, under 15 minutes, then I failed. But let's get a little bit more. What's going on? Is there anything else in this person's life that they need to hear? This can be, like, a second part of the video, like part 2. Should we do a part 2? Wait. Hold on. I think we're going to do that. I think at the beginning of the video, I'm going to put like 2 options for what you can choose. And then I'm going to and then that will be the message. Okay, we're doing that today. If you are watching this, you are a part of me realizing that I'm doing this message. Let's shuffle for the next group. I haven't done a group one in a while. Let's shuffle for the next group. Shuffle for the next group. Can we get a message for group? Okay, we're going to start. Hello, group 2. I just realized as I was filming this group 2 that I'm doing 2 groups. So group 1 doesn't really get an introduction. It just gets right into it, right? But hello, group 2, and welcome to today's reading. Today, I don't know what we're getting into. It's a mystery reading. This title may tell you, actually. I don't know. We have at the bottom of the deck the Queen of Cups, though, so that's exciting. I have some Oracle decks here. So that was fun. This is the Nova Witch Tarot deck, if you are wondering what tarot deck it is. It is a big deck. My hands cannot fit around it, so I have to shuffle it a little weird. But getting that out of the way, like, I can't shuffle it normal, so I have to do, like, sideways, and also I have to, like, do it, like this, and it sometimes falls over. But we're gonna get started. Remember to take what resonates and leave what does not. Throw the rest away. Say goodbye to it. Give it to someone else. Let's breathe in if you want to. And breathe out. Okay. Let's get started with our message. If you hear a cat meowing, that's my kitten. She's 3 months old. She's in there for just like 30 minutes while I'm doing this. Which is just where she lives in my room. But let's get started. Spirit, guides, is there a message for the collective that the collective needs to hear that is different than the one before or similar? Either works. But I would prefer something different than the message before. We are doing group 2. Group 2, Spirit. Group 2. What is group 2? need to hear. Okay. We have 3 cards, just like last reading. We have the Hermit, Temperance, and we have the Ten of Swords. Okay. Automatically, the first feeling I'm feeling is overwhelm. Like, spiritual overwhelm or overwhelm in general. Like, some sort of overwhelming feeling. The Hermit, Temperance, and the Ten of Swords. I think you are overwhelmed. I said overwhelmed multiple times, but like, I think you are kind of spent right now. I feel this sense of like, I think there's a need to stay grounded and to ground yourself. I think there's a need to take a moment to reflect on, not your life, but take a moment to reflect on why you're feeling ungrounded. I think there's just a sense of, I don't know if it's ungroundedness necessarily. I think it's more just like stress and anxiety is being built up. Like there's a lot of the Hermit. Yeah. I didn't show you the cards. The Hermit. Here's the Hermit card. Here is the Temperance card. And here is the Ten of Swords card. Pause if you need to. I'll put them all right here. I dropped the card. Hold on. Get off my foot. The Ten of Swords is falling, which is interesting. It may want to be reversed, which I don't do reversals at the moment, but I sometimes do. But not usually during readings with other people because it stresses me out too much. Interesting. Stress. Not wanting to do reversals. Stress. Something's going on here, obviously. But like something's going on here, and I am going to get to the bottom of it. I'm going to get to the bottom of it. I'm a detective. Not really. I mean, I could be. Card fell out while I was shuffling. We have safety, the eel and iris. The eel and iris, safety. I know the camera quality is not the best, but the eel and the iris, safety. I think there's something that you have found a coven, something you have found home in. Someone you have found home in. It could be a variety of things, but there's something or someone or whatever that you have found home in. This eel, I think it's an eel, right? The eel and the iris is around this iris and has found safety by this iris, has found home by this iris. And I think that you had found or have found home in something. And I think there's a need to, okay, let me get a little more clarification with the tarot. Are we letting go of this something that happened or was clarification? We'll just take this one. The Six of Swords. Okay. I think this is something where you are going through a need to let go of something. I know a lot of tarot readers say that, but there's a need to let go of something that feels safe. Now, let me clarify this. This isn't something like, this depends. Like, take what resonates, leave what does not. If this is something where, like, you're like, okay, I need that, like, it's fine. But something where you have been stuck, you have been trapped in this, the Eight of Swords, I feel like, would be very appropriate here in this reading. But let's see if the Eight of Swords is at the bottom of the deck. I like checking. The King of Cups. The King of Cups has been at the bottom of the deck, I think, a few times today. But the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is telling me that, like, you will have guidance from wherever. Sometimes people come to tarot readings and they don't necessarily believe in the divine. That is completely fine. If you do not, it could be friends that are trying to help you, right? But if you do, angels, guides, whatever, deities, ancestors are helping guide you through this transition. There's a need to break free of something that felt safe before or feels safe. Maybe you have broken free, but I think for most of you, for the vast majority, you guys are breaking free or needing to break free. This could be like staying inside a lot. I know Take Rising Sleep, it doesn't, but like this could be like a friend that you need cut loose. I'm not saying that's 100% for all of you, but it could be something like that. It could be a habit that you have. Maybe you pick your skin, something like that. It can be simple as that. Not simple for everyone, but you know what I mean. And something big as well. Let's see. Let's get a little more with this deck. We'll get a little bit more on this, what we need to let go of. Can we get some more information on what we need to let go of? We have bashfulness, the opossum, and peony. Bashfulness, the opossum and the peony. Bashfulness. Because we have the safety. The bashfulness is making me think that there's a sense of like in this safe cocoon, this home, this whatever it is, this relationship, this connection, you have a connection with something, whether that's a person or a plant or a habit, whatever it is, you have a connection with it, in a way, not like a connection as in you're like best friends with it, but like you have some sort of spiritual thing with this. You have some sort of, not just spiritual, but you just feel attached to this, or you are just stuck with this, right? Not stuck with it, like you're stuck with it. I mean, stuck with it, like at the moment you are kind of stuck. I think there's a sense of almost like denial about it. There definitely could be. Or like just a need to like laugh it off, or be like, oh, that's nothing, it's nothing. Like when people ask you about like your life, you just completely, well, I think most people kind of lie. When people ask if you're okay, you're like, yeah, I'm okay. But I think we should be honest more often. I've been being honest about that. I think some people are honest about it, but like if something's going on, just be like, yeah, it's been a little rough. But I know that sometimes that gets people to ask you questions. That's really annoying. You can try to tell them to stop, but it depends the person, right? But I think also practicing honesty when it comes to that, or just like being honest to people around you, like, hey, I am going through it. If you can, if that is safe for you to do, being honest about like where you are, where you've gone. You don't have to be honest about everything, because I get a sense that a lot of you have some secrets, whatever those are. I'm not saying secrets as in like something horrible, but like I mean like trauma, and you don't want to tell people about that. That is fair. Also, if you have like something going on, I am not like, spiritual practitioners are not therapists, and we are not mental health professionals. If you are having trouble like with mental health, or you suspect it's mental health, you're like, I don't know if it's spiritual or not, talk to a mental health professional, please, if you can. I know some people can't do that, and I respect that, and I'm very sorry. But if you can speak to a therapist, or at least a friend or something, friends aren't therapists, but if you can speak to someone about it and be honest about it, then I think that could be really helpful for you, if you are able to. If I know that some people are like worried that they're spiritual, like what they believe spiritually, the therapist is going to judge them. If a therapist judges you for your spiritual belief, they are not a good therapist. A therapist that is a good therapist will genuinely care about what you say and not think you're crazy, and not act like what you're saying is insane, and not like pretend that your trauma didn't happen, something like that, right? They're going to believe you, and they're going to like be kind. And some therapists have different styles that you just don't go with. I don't know why I'm on the therapist rant right now, but like I think that could really help you. I had a therapy today, maybe that's why. But like, and also I think this collective is just kind of has a lot of trauma, and if you don't, I think there's just a sense of a lot of struggle at the moment. And even if you don't like have a traumatic childhood or have like a traumatic things in your life, therapy is also still good. And I'm not saying you have to. I know it costs money, insurance, whatever it is. I know that's a lot. But keep it in mind. Let's get into a little bit more of what they need to hear with this deck, the Clarifying Situations deck. Let's split this. I'm gonna do it sideways. Shuffling sideways is just like slightly more inconvenient, but it works. Can I get a little bit on? This deck is having trouble today. This deck is like something. Out. Okay, it's out. Can we get... I'm a little woo-woo sometimes. Can we get a little bit on what this collective needs to hear? Okay. We have small steps, the small wins, small triumphs, everyday victories. Celebrate them, they will take you there. Okay, this is a good message. Like, if there is like a habit, an addiction, I'm not a professional, but like if there is something like that, go to a professional. But also, if there is something, I can't talk on addiction, so I'm just gonna move that away. If there's a habit, if there's something, a person, whatever, that you are having trouble getting away from, okay, interesting. Toxic relationship could be a thing. I don't work here, man. I guess I do. But I'm not doing a reading on that right now, but it could be the situation. If there is a relationship, a person, a situation, something that you are having trouble breaking free from, even like something like you just pick your skin, which isn't a small thing for a lot of people. I know. I'm not saying that like it's a small thing, but it could be anything, right? And also, I think acknowledging that just because it seems small to others doesn't mean it's small to you. And I think also acknowledging that people who compare trauma, or like my trauma is worse than you, are not healed. If you are comparing trauma and saying my trauma is worse than you to people, that's not okay. Trauma affects people in different ways. Of course, there are things that are worse in other ways, right? There are things that are not worse, but like harder to go through. I'm doing a reading.
Echo?
Yeah?
Effect on the phone. Have you seen any worms on Winnie?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
They're moving?
I think so. Cat has worms. Anyways, small steps. Just taking small. I just heard one small step for mankind in my head. Anyways, taking small steps is a big. I completely forgot what I was talking about. Taking small steps is a big thing. You do not have to. You do not have to do everything in a day. You do not have to move out in a day. You can take small bits of your house and move them into the new house, right? This is just a metaphor. If you don't get it, then I will explain this a little differently. You can, I don't know how to explain it. You can do small things at a time when it comes to your love life, I almost said. You can take small bits at a time of getting rid of this, of moving on, whatever it is. And you don't have to instantly let go of it. Like, when you have like a blanket that you've had, well, okay, take out this resonates and leave what doesn't, but when you have like a stuffed animal that you've had since you were really little, it's hard to let go of that, and you don't have to let go of that, but this is just the example that's coming through. But I think for some people, and I don't think it's wrong to have a stuffed animal or a blanket that you sleep with, this is not the best example, but it's what's coming through, I'm just gonna let it go. But if, like, having a little stuffed animal and there's a need for some reason to let go of the stuffed animal, you do not have to do that in a day. You do not have to, it would be hard. You would be sad. You would be broken without this stuffed animal. You'd be broken without this because you were younger. You're binky when you're little. Like, things like that. Without those things, a lot of the times there's a lot of stress. I'm going to be done with the reading, I think. But yeah, taking small steps, you've got this. The last reading was also interesting. I don't think it's related to this, but yeah, if you want to check it out, check it out. You don't have to. But yeah, I think that'll be the reading for today. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe, or don't. I have a Patreon as well. I do want to clarify that my Patreon I do not post on very often. If you want to support me, you can do a subscription, and I do have some videos on there already, and I will try to post more, but there's no guarantee if you buy a subscription on there that I'm going to post. Just know that. Well, I'm going to post, but like not very often, right? And also, I also want to say I have my readings open. If you want to book a reading with me, a personalized reading on my Etsy, that'll be below, I believe. I'll double check that before I post just to make sure it's working. But yeah, thank you for watching this reading. Thank you for being here. I love you.